Every once in a while when you come in, there won't be a baker here already. When there isn't a baker here, by the time you get to the place on the checklist that says if you're the AM baker, just assume that you're the AM baker. So that would be right here. If AM baker, do first 3 items on kitchen checklist, check as done. So today we are the AM baker because the AM baker doesn't get here until 9 today, and that's way too late to work on the bread. So we want to get the checklist, which is going to be on the wall to the right of the microwave. So just get the checklist and pull it down and clear off all of the checks that might be on it from yesterday. And you just want to do the first 3 things up until the dark line right here. So kitchen opening checklist, plan the oven so that there's always something in the oven and something waiting to go in the oven. Do not allow the oven to run empty. And there's a separate video on how to do that. But when you turn the oven on, you want to set the timer so the oven isn't just running empty. So clock in, sweep, sort, and segregate your workspace, which just means make sure everything is tidy, just like up front, and everything is put away. It is in this case. Check the retarder for items over or under proofing. Immediately bake anything over proofing. Take out underproofed items to proof. Okay, so for our situation today, these pastries are seriously underproofed. They haven't done anything since yesterday. And so see, those are just like totally hard. They're not doing anything. So we're gonna leave these here. We got them out of the retarder. We're gonna leave them on the counter here and on our little shelf right here so that they can come up to room temperature and proof a little bit. And here's another one. So looking into the retarder, we have bread. And as you can see, these have all started to grow together. And when they've grown together, then they're definitely proofed enough. So you want to get them out and in the oven. So we're going to leave them here until the oven preheats, because it takes 8 minutes for the oven to preheat. But these are the ones that are underproofed and haven't done anything. So I left this in here so that I could just demonstrate. You want to take this out. And then the other thing that's likely to be here is bagels. And you want to get those babies into the oven as soon as you can because they go quickly first thing. So we're going to take this tray out and then we're going to turn the oven on. So we've got the tray out and it's laying on the counter with the rest of them. So we're going to leave those there to proof. And then over here, we have a video on how to turn on the convection oven and how to work it. So if you don't know or you haven't used it, then stop and get this QR code on your phone and just watch this quick little video. But if you do know how to use it, just a refresher, we're gonna go over here. Bread, rounds, and pans, maximum 3 pans is program 3. Bread, rounds, and baguettes, program 3. Maximum 3 pans, and a couple of notes here. Take baguettes out at the alarm. Whole wheat bread goes on bottom shelf or it burns. So always try and read everything because there's other information there. And then the other important thing is when the timer sounds to check the product carefully, do not just take it out. So we're gonna turn the oven on program 3. So we're gonna come over here, turn it on right here, come up to program 3. Okay, so 3 is our bread program, and we don't need to start the timer because the preheat cycle is going. So this is going to preheat, and when it's ready, it's going to give us a beep and let us know. But we want to kind of watch it and make sure that the beep hasn't happened and we missed it while we were doing something else. So once the timer goes off, we put the bread in. And here's something else I need to show you. You only want to use 3 of these shelves when you're doing the bread. You want to put it on the bottom shelf, the middle shelf, and the top shelf. You don't want to put 1, 2, 3 pans or 1, 2, 3 pans. You don't want the bread pans too close together because they'll grow into each other. And then when you pull them out, it'll rip the top off all of the loaves and then you can't sell them. So the most important thing right here when you're baking the bread, it said maximum 3 pans, so you want them fanned out as much as you can. So bottom, middle, top is where you want to put the bread. So the last thing on the checklist is that we have to score the bread. So we're going to take the bread out and score it. I'll show you that real fast. So now everything is out of the retarder. That's just some produce. Everything is out of the retarder. This is the only thing we need to bake today. Bread scoring tool is right here. It's the thing with the razor, so you want to be a little careful of it. If you can't remember the bread scoring pattern, it is on this sheet on the retarder on things that need to be made today. So the original is just a little wheat leaf, the jalapeno cheddar is a cross, the Kalamata olive is a K. So these are where all of the scoring diagrams are right here, and here is how to score the baguettes. So going back over here, we're gonna start at the top and go down all of them for the center line like that, and then just turn this and go like that. And you want to do all of the strokes that are the same direction at one time, rather than turn the knife, turn the knife, turn the knife, do one loaf, turn the knife, or you'll get carpal tunnel syndrome from all that turning of your wrist. So you want to keep your wrist steady like that. Okay, so that one's all done, and then we'll just do this one. We're going to do this way because there's only 3 and you can't go straight down because it wasn't panned properly, and that's an example of why you want to pan it properly so that you can score it properly. But that's all there is to it. Now the oven will continue to heat up, and when the oven heats up and it's ready, just put these in the way we showed you, and once everything gets put in, then you just want to start this timer button right here, and they'll bake and take them out when they're done and shut the oven off, and that's all there is to it. To the right of the thing, which tells how much to make, and the scoring patterns attached to this string, is the proofing tool right here. And when you're using the proofing tool, you want to match one of 2 dimensions. So this is the proofing tool for the bread. You want it to be either this tall or this wide. It doesn't have to be both. And so the way you use it is you put it on top of the bread like this. And so as you can see, that's wide enough. It's not tall enough, but that doesn't matter because it's wide enough. So you just want to check a couple on here and make sure that they're wide enough or tall enough. And then this is a tool for measuring baguettes proofed enough, and this is the tool for measuring the bread proofed enough. So this is obviously proofed enough, although another hint is the fact that they're growing together and not separate. So I'm going to load these in the oven, show you a quick picture of the bread in the oven, and that's all there is to this video. So the oven is loaded up. We only had 2 trays, so we're going to use the bottom and the middle shelf. You want to start from the bottom and work your way up. You don't want to do the top shelf if you don't have to, because the oven is a little hotter up there and things are more likely to burn. So just close the oven, and then the most important thing is that you start this. Watch this. So it's going to go 45 minutes, and when that's blinking, you know it's started. So always start the timer, because if you don't, it'll just sit in there and bake, and you'll have no idea how long it's been in there. So always make sure once you shut the door, your hand will be right here, right to the right of your hand, a reminder, start timer, start the timer right there. So all we need to do now is wait until it's done, then we'd take it out. If we had bagels, we'd put the bagels in, or whatever else needs to go in next. We would carefully check these and not assume that they're ready. And these are nowhere near ready. So we're probably going to have to turn the oven off. But by then, hopefully the morning baker will be here and they can judge it from there. So all you really want to do is get the bread baked off, the bagels baked off, and if there happens to be scones in there, you do the scones too, and you would do the scones right here on the 7 program. So you just push this and dial it around until you got to 7, and then put the scones in. So that's all there is to it. If you're making muffins, there's a couple muffin things, but that would be basically all that you would do, is bread and bagels for sure, and then maybe muffins and maybe scones. So getting the bread and the bagels in the oven serves a couple of purposes. It has them ready when customers come in, so they're available to be bought. And it also gives the morning baker kind of a head start so that they can start on the other things that they do, which is all the other things on here, because the bread and the bagels are out of the way. So thanks very much. If you have any questions, let us know.